Good evening, everyone. This is Group 5, and I am here tonight with Mr. Cancho Gilbert, Mr. Pelayo Aaron, and Ms. Estimo Eves. And we are going to discuss the public financial management cycle. But first, let us have a brief discussion on what public financial management is. A government can only fulfill its good service delivery to the public when its finances are properly managed. In short, better financial management leads to better utilization of resources and it results to proper delivery service, which is why there is public financial management. A public financial management system is a set of rules and institutions, policies, and processes that govern the use of public funds across all sectors, from revenue collection to monitoring of public expenditures. It also ensures accountability and efficiency in the use of public resources, such as organizations, companies, and the governments, of course. They always manage that and secure that everything is allocated and spent wisely. Tax collected from people, donor or lending institution, and other sources of revenue are efficiently used, especially for especially the government for the development of our country in terms of food, education, health, security, power, infrastructure, and others. Basically, public financial management focuses on the prioritization of scarce resources while meeting the objectives of the government and rendering the best possible service delivery. It ensures the efficient and effective use of public resources and prevents fraud and wasteful expenditures. The public financial management has a cycle, and we start with the planning step. The planning policy next is budgeting, budget implementation, security, and audit. So the planning stage involves the identification of needs, priorities, strategies, policies, and programs. It tackles the priority of the government to achieve development and the policies and projects they are expecting in the future, and the sectors being prioritized as well. And in the planning stage as well, as of right now, the government uses the participatory planning method to remove the vulnerabilities, especially because the citizens or the people are not accountable in the decision makings of the government. And what they did was they allowed the people to engage in regular meetings and agendas. And an example of this is Naga City. And throughout the year, they allowed the Naga City Council to have a representative so the people could push their interests on what the best for them, of course. And to summarize it, the planning stage translates the broad plans and policy goals into concrete programs to benefit citizens. And so we move on to the next stage, which will be reported by Miss Eves Estimo.
In budgeting stage, budgeting entails the identification and allocation of the country's resources. Kasama rin dito yung pagsasecure ng pera para sa mga priority programs across agencies and sectors. Sa national government, yung heads of household, sila yung responsible sa pagpo-formulate ng budget. Usually, ito yung mga departments or agencies of finance and budget. Itong mga agency, sila yung in charge sa consolidating budgetary proposals articulated by different line agencies. So yung layunin nitong i-optimize ang paggamit ng public funds para ma-achieve yung goals and objectives ng government in a way ng pagpapatupad ng effective budgeting practices. Sa budgeting process ng public financial management, firstly kasama dito yung revenue forecasting na kailangan sa pag-estimate ng expected income from various sources tulad ng taxes, fees, and grants. Makakatulong ito sa government entities na magplano para sa kanilang spending base sa inaasahang kita. Expenditure planning, another process of budgeting. Kabilang dito yung pagtukoy sa pinaglalaanan ng pondo sa iba't ibang sector at programs based sa kanilang priorities and needs. Once na ma-formulate na yung budget, mahalaga na ma-execute ito ng epektibo Kabilang dito yung proper allocation and disbursements of funds sa mga designated areas and programs na nangangailangan din ito ng monitoring at pagkontrol sa mga gastos to ensure compliance with the budgetary constraints. Yun lamang. Ang next reporter po is si Mr. Gilbert Cancho.
So next is the budget implementation. So next, budget implementation. To implement a budget, we must first allocate resources to meet our target. For each resource, we make an estimate of how much is required to given plan period. So dito naman sa budget implementation, dito mag-allocate ng resources and pupunan yung ng budget in able to meet their target, and regard na rin dito yung objective and goals nila sa pag-i-implement ng budget. So dito need i-estimate if magkano yung kailangan for the given period. So next. So sa accounting is focuses on the recording, classifying, and interfering of financial transactions. This accounting process are dependent on the budgeting of expenditure, authorization, appropriation being enacted by the legislative. So here nabanggit naman yung legislative, tulad yan ng sabi, nakapokus ito sa recording, classifying, interfering of financial transaction, and it depends yung gastos na ito na if how much yung i-authorize ng legislative branch. So next naman po. So dito naman sa reporting, budget reports or simply budget reports to compare their actual spending with what was budgeted for your plan, your budget for a given period. Then at the end of that period, your budgeting report show your how much you actually spent. A typically budget report has two key columns: plan spending budgeted for a given period and actual spending for that same period. So dito naman po sa reporting is dito po nakalagay lahat ng information na kinakailangan sa pagbabudget, and yun yung pinaprovide nila sa reporting. So next naman po. Sa recording naman, last is the best way to have an accurate budget. They can serve as management tool. It is to use to accurate information in preparing it. So, connected din to sa reporting yung recording. Sa pagpe-prepare, need to para maging accurate yung pagmamanage ng budget. So, that's next naman pong si Aaron Pilayo. Next reporter.
Security audit. Next po. Next, please. Security audit is an audit on a level information security in an organization within the board scope of auditing information security. There are multiple types of audits, multiple objectives for different audits, etc. Most commonly, the controls being audited can be categorized to technical, physical, and administrative. Nasabi dito is, ang security ay isang pagsusuri o pagmamanman sa kung gaano kapanatag ang impormasyon sa isang kumpanya. May iba't ibang aspeto ng seguridad ng impormasyon. Ang sinasailalim sa pagsusuri kabilang technical, physical, at administratibong aspeto. Sinasagawa ito upang matiyak na ligtas at maprotektado ang mga impormasyon laban sa anumang panganib o banta. Maaari isailalim sa audit ang seguridad ng data centers, kabilang physical na seguridad nito, pati na rin ang logical na seguridad ng mga database. And then, auditing information security covers topics from auditing the physical security of data centers to auditing the logical security of database, and highlights key components to look for and different methods for auditing these areas. Ang pagsusuri sa seguridad ng impormasyon ay tumututok mula sa physical na seguridad ng data centers patungo sa logical na seguridad ng mga database. Layunin nito ang makilala ang mga mahalagang bahagi at gamitin ang iba't ibang paraan upang masusing suriin ang mga ito sa isang lugar. Sa madaling salita, ito ay isang proseso ng maingat na pagsusuri mula sa physical hanggang sa logical na aspeto para mapanatili ang kaligtasan ng impormasyon. Next po. Ang types of audits. Meron ditong external, internal, self. Ang internal is these are conducted by a third party. Ang sabi dito is ito ay sinasagawa ng isang ikatlong partido o third party. Ito ay isang independenteng pagsusuri sa seguridad ng isang organisasyon mula sa labas at ang layunin nito ay tiyakin ang objective at integridad ng pagsusuri. Karaniwang mayroong eksperto sa seguridad ang third party na ito at ang kanilang ulat ay maaaring gamitin upang mapabuti ang mga seguridad ng hakbang. Ang internal naman ay corporate by headquarters or personnel from other units of the same company. Ang sabi dito is ito ay isinagawa ng internal na grupo ay isang kumpanya partikular ng mga corporate headquarters. Maaaring isinagawa ito ng internal na ahensya o ng mga tauhan mula sa iba't ibang unit ng parehong kumpanya. Layunin din nito ang suriin ang buong sistema ng seguridad ng kumpanya mula sa loob at ang mga resulta ay maaaring gamitin para sa pagbubuti ng internal na proseso. Ang self naman is in-house by the plant personnel. Self is ginagawa ito ng mga tauhan mismo ng isang sangay o planta ng kumpanya. Ito ay sinasagawa sa loob ng organisasyon at ang mga empleyado mismo ang nag-evaluate ng kanilang mga seguridad na hakbang. Mahalaga ito upang mapanatili ang regular na pagsusuri at pagpapatibay ng mga internal na control at proseso sa seguridad. Next. Audit's objectives. Next po. Number 1 is the main objective of the audit is the assess of the evidentiary and effectiveness of ECS security measures and management controls taught for specific objectives focusing of high-risk areas. Ang sabi dito, pangunahing layunin ng audit, ang pangunahing layunin ng pagsusuri ay sukatan ang kaukulang kakayahan at epektibong pamamahala ng mga hakbang sa seguridad at kontrol ng pamamahala ng ECS sa pamamagitan ng 4 na partikular na layunin na nakatuon sa mga mataas na panganib na lugar. Second is to assess the adequacy of the physical security threat identification and risk management process with a focus of activities performed at the facility level. Sabi ito, ang pagsusuri sa kaukulang kakayahan ng pisikal na panganib. Layunin nito ang pagtataas ng kaukulang kakayahan ng proseso ng pag-identify at pamamahala ng panganib sa pisikal na seguridad na nakatuon sa mga aktibidad na isinasagawa sa antas ng pasilidad. And the last is the determine whether roles and responsibilities of the all parties involved in departmental physical security are clearly defined, performed by the appropriate party and cover the span of security activity as defined by the TV Facility on Government Security. Ang sabi dito, pagtukoy ng mga papel at responsibilidad. Layunin naman nito ang pagtukoy kung ang mga papel at responsibilidad lahat ng partidang kasangkot sa physical seguridad ng departamentong ay malinaw na nakakalinya, isinasagawa ng tamang partido at sumasaklaw sa saklaw ng aktibidad na seguridad ayon sa itinakda ng TV Facility on Government Security. Yun lang po. Salamat.